A carrier strike group. The Navy loves weird acronyms. Okay. When I worked with a task force and we were off of the USS Blue Ridge, which is based out of Hawaii and I think San Diego. That's the Pac Fleet command vessel. It was like Surf Pac Fleet Com something. Like this one here is Comcar Strike Crew 9. They make these weird acronyms for like no reason. It might have something to do with the fact that they use semaphores. I bet it was related to that.
We talk about the flag shit.
Yeah, the flag shit, where they wave the flags around.
That's a horrible MOS because I'm going to give you an automatic homo suspicion point for.
Also, what are you going to do when you get out?
Yeah,
join a marching band, join drum corps.
Get the hell out of here.
That's it. That's about your career opportunities. You're joining the flag section of a drum corps. Carrier Strike Group 9's mission is to plan and conduct operations and exercises in surface, subsurface, air, and strike warfare as directed by numbered fleet commanders. We actively participate in the development of tactical doctrine and assist type commanders in preparation and execution of employment and training schedules. They are based out of Naval Station North Island, California. This is part of Pac Fleet. This fleet is on its way to the Straits of Hormuz. They pulled it out of Asia. Now, we have a treaty with South Korea that a lot of people are unaware of, that we will keep a carrier within strike range at all times.
Okay.
For the Korean Peninsula. I think we pulled our group out. I don't think there's a carrier group in there right now.
You're probably right.
I think it's headed for Iran. So,
it's a mistake, in my opinion.
Well, I'm trying to watch the other channels to see if I can find anything on the Koreans getting pissed off about that. But in fairness, we have been there for 70 years, guys. Maybe give it a rest.
Yeah.
During the Cold War, the main role of the CVBG in the case of conflict with the Soviet Union would have been to protect the Atlantic supply routes between the United States and Europe. Well, the role of the Soviet Navy would have been to interrupt those sea lanes. This is classic naval warfare. Because the Soviet Union had no large carriers of its own, the situation of dueling aircraft carriers would have been unlikely. However, a primary mission of the Soviet Navy's attack submarines was to shadow every CVBG and in the outbreak of hostilities, sink those carriers. That is a freaking sphincter puckering MOS. We had those Navy SIGINT guys in our classes, and boomer life. Everybody makes boomer jokes.
Yeah.
Well, in the Navy, a boomer class sub is the big subs, and they would play cat and mouse with the Russian subs, like all the fucking time. I don't know if that still goes on to this day, but back when we were in, that was like a serious pucker factor. There was never a hot war, but these subs were always up each other's asses at really close distances and at like anywhere between 120 and 400 feet.
Yep.
Underwater, for those of you who don't know what I mean there.
Well, correct. If there's anyone out there that knows this, but I believe the cruising depth is 120 feet.
I think that sounds right. I never dealt with any sub stuff.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
I'm on the Blue Ridge. So anyway, back to Fleet 9. They are moving into the Straits of Hormuz. Modern U.S. Navy carrier operations carrier strike groups have replaced the traditional term of carrier battle group or CARBAT group. The Navy maintains 11 carrier strike groups, 10 of which are based in the United States, and one is forward deployed to Japan. That's at Yokosuka. I know those guys.
Yeah.
So we don't have 11 functional carrier groups right now. We do not. I think we've got 7 that are what we called combat effective.
Well, hang on. Number one, we have degraded our ability to build and maintain carriers.
Yes.
And our Navy.
I know a guy who does that specifically.
Number 2, they don't have the people to put on these ships because of recruiting or budget cuts and what have you.
DEI killed a bunch of that.
Yeah. It did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where we are. And it's, listen, man, if the flag goes up and shit fucking really starts flying, I don't know how they're going to get the rest of those ships manned and out to sea in a reasonable amount of time.
The only saving grace here is none of the nations who are most aligned against the United States possesses an army that is better than ours, despite our degraded state right now.
Okay.
Even in our degraded state, there still aren't any armies out there who could really stand against us that are already aligned against us.
Fair enough.
China's got numbers. They've got numbers out the ass. But we saw how they operate in the Korean War. Like a third of their guys were armed. Now, you can argue that they've got all those guys armed today, but they've never fought a full action. They haven't fought a full action since the Korean War.
Here's the other thing about China.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have numbers.
Yep.
But they can't project their strength.
No.
So if they're not good at projecting strength, that's going to be a problem.
Even in our degraded state, one of the things we really do well is logistics. The 82nd Airborne can drop an entire brigade on your head anywhere in the world in, I believe, it's 72 hours.
72 hours, correct.
Yep.
The Ranger Battalion will be on the ground in 36 or less.
Yes. Yeah, and you're really fucked if they get a hair up their ass.
Well, here's the thing about Airborne Rangers, okay?
Yeah.
Since I used to be one.
No.
If
I heard
you are a foreign country and you wake up one day and there's an entire battalion of Airborne Rangers somewhere within your country, you have to be willing to zero out a division to destroy them.
Yes.
That is, I mean, that is how well equipped, how
for
well
perspective,
trained.
a division is close to 5,000.
Yes. A battalion is 200, 150 to 220 guys. No.
Ranger battalion?
No, a Ranger battalion is way more than that.
A standard United States infantry company in my day was 460 plus command.
For just a company?
No, I'm not sorry, not a company, battalion.
Yeah.
A standard infantry battalion was 460 plus command.
I think one of the Ranger battalions when I was there was operating strength is between 500 and 650 people. There's probably more now that you have support battalions and all this other shit attached.
Special teams. They moved to the special team brigade model. I hate that fucking model.
I don't like it either, but
it doesn't make sense.
Show.
Yeah, it's a totally different show. What ships are usually included in a carrier group? Now, this is where we get into that bottleneck map that we were talking about, that we showed you. That's 835 miles of fuck my life. Okay? Yeah. With a 40-mile narrow passage of fuck me in the goat ass.
Well, all right, stand by. That entire ocean or sea is a shooting gallery for you.
The Persian Gulf.
The whole Persian Gulf. You should not go in there. You don't need to when you have land bases literally right across that little small sea.
And our ability to project. We've got major bases in Europe, including a couple in Italy, that can get shit into the Levant on that eastern coast of the Mediterranean there, and then from there to Kuwait. I don't know why they're risking this bottleneck. Yeah, strategically, to me, in my mind, it doesn't make sense. If it's just projection of force, you don't need to do that. It's the year's 2025. This is not a world where you sit the Missouri and the Arizona off the coast, and everybody shits their pants.
Well, to be fair, a battleship that could throw shells between 35 and 55 miles, and each one weighs as much as a VW.
There's a famous story from Korea where a North Korean group on an island during the Korean War lobbed some mortars at the Missouri, I think it was. And the Missouri one of the mortars actually struck the ship. It didn't do any damage, but it struck the ship. The commander ordered the Missouri to remove the top of that hill, which it promptly did. The Missouri never, ever took fire ever again during the rest of the Korean War. And when I say remove the top of the hill, we've got the BDA photos. We've got because they flew planes out of there. The Missouri had tenders and there were aircraft in the air for that. And they went down and photographed what the Missouri did afterward. And it literally, the top of the hill was just
gone.
Not fucking there. Anyway, what do we got? This information comes from USNY News Fleet. That's U.S. Navy information. News Fleet and Marine Tracker dated February 2024. Let's say the aircraft carrier group that includes the Theodore Roosevelt CVN-71 and big deck amphibious warship U.S. America. That I think the Blue Ridge is one of those two. The Blue Ridge was cool. It was like a big boxy small aircraft carrier.
Well, hang on a minute. What was the other ship called?
It's an amphibious warship. That's the America.
That's where you keep all your Marines.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So that's the grazing paddock for the Marines.
Yeah, and now the thing is with those amphibious ships, it's right there in the title of the damn thing. These things are like, I think 1/6 the size of a carrier.
Uh-huh.
And if you know how big of a carrier is, we're still talking about a really big fucking ship.
Yeah.
These things will beach, and then they puke up 3 battalions of Marines onto your beach. and now you're fucked because that's just a buzzsaw. Anyway, the carrier is using older C-2A Greyhounds as temporary carrier onboard delivery vehicles, while the CMV-22B fleet is grounded following the November crash. They use those to get back and forth between the ships. Let's see here. Brutal money secrets varies, but obviously the entire carrier group. Typically, the following units are assigned to be in a carrier strike group: 1 or 2 guided missile cruisers, a destroyer squadron and all of its ships, typically around 5 to 6 guided missile destroyers. Those will have tenders as well. They don't carry all of their ammo on board. They're on the tenders, which follow these things around, smaller ships. 1 or 2 submarines and an oiler or 2. I know some of the bigger carrier groups will take 2 oilers with them.
Yeah,
I don't know if we have. Yeah, I don't know if they have 2 oilers anymore, or fast combat support ships. So that's the general group there. You're talking about the guided missile cruisers will have tenders. So there's 2 plus 2 for each cruiser. That's 6 destroyer squadron, which I think is 3 vessels.
No. Destroyers in a carrier group are between 4 and 6 destroyers.
Is it 4 and 6 destroyers?
Somewhere between 4 and 6, depending on what they have on hand.
So remember, we're talking about an aircraft carrier, which you land aircraft on, obviously. Mm-hmm. Which is enormous. And now you've got 24 ships plus the subs in that tiny little space. The maneuver capability
with missiles.
No, you're not. You're not. But here's where it matters. If those subs are within the group and moving as a unit with the carrier group, your maneuverability goes down.
A lot.
Because what's the draft on a carrier?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I mean, what? Let's look that up. That's a fun one. What is the draft on a U.S. aircraft carrier? Draft, for those of you who don't know, is how far under the water a ship sticks. A Nimitz class carrier has a draft of basically 40 feet.
Okay, I was going to say 35 feet.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking depth.
You have to take into account the actual physical depth of the ship is 37. But if you've ever been anywhere near a ship underway, it has like a thing around it of water that you don't want to be a part of, because if you get too close to that, you get sucked back toward the spinny things.
And ground up to
shark. You get turned into chum.
That's right. Human chum with heads.
Yes. So I would say that the real draft, 37 feet physical vessel, I would give it 55 feet.
Okay.
I would give it a 55-foot draft because of
here's
the
thing.
cavitation.
No, stand by. On an aircraft carrier, you're going to have all of the fucking ships, all of the repair parts, ass load of ammo and fuel. Then you have little.
That's on their tenders. They don't have that on the ships.
No, they have a lot of fuel on the ship.
They do.
And then you have all of the little meatsicles walking around, which are incredibly expendable on aircraft carriers.
The carrier guys that they call, I think it's the grapes, the guys wearing purple.
Yeah.
I believe that is actually the most dangerous job in the entire military. Because they're on the deck with those aircraft coming and going, and the arrestor cables. If a cable, I've heard stories of this. I've never seen it myself, but I've heard Navy guys talking about if you're too close to one of those cables, you just get cut in half.
That's right.
I mean, there's no, you might get nicked. No, you're getting cut in half.
Yeah, and every year they have anywhere from 6 to 12 people that just fall off, and they're never heard or seen from again. They're just assumed dead.
That's a long drop.
Yeah, so fuck the
long
Navy.
drop. I
don't want anything to do with that. I'm good.
I joined the Army to stay on dry land, and in their wisdom, my first assignment was supporting you assholes on the USS Blue Ridge. there was 12 of us, and we're like, why are we on a ship? Why are we? Who made these orders?
So, when I was going to enlist in the Army, I originally, just to go talk to the Marines, I had to sit down with those guys. They showed me the HUA tapes, ran me through the whole USMC Pride shit. And then I'm like, so if I become 0311, what's going to happen in my first 2 years? I'm like, well, I got a basic AIT on Paris Island, and then you're going to go for your first float. Usually everyone has, a float. I'm like, what is this float? It's where they keep you on a ship just in case they need you, and you're on there from anywhere from 4 to 12 months. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. I just like, no, thank you.
Basically penned up angry cattle.
Yes. No, thank you.
By the way, do you know why the Navy actually keeps Marines on their ships?
Not really.
Sheep are too obvious.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.